Hi guys, it's your friendly neighborhood yawning cat, and we are here with the Two Bro Girls LP. Now, just like I said, the next time that we see each other, it is not going to be Sunday. It is going to be a little while after the girls sort of had, you know, Taylor looked for her mom, she and her dad. She hasn't really found out anything additional just yet. Jayden was pregnant. She was in her first trimester, and now, ladies and gentlemen, she is in her second trimester. The belly is popping, just like that collar. But, she's here with her mom very early in the morning because the wedding preparations have been almost finished. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, what do you mean a month has passed? You would have given birth in 3 days. Well, we're doing this just a little bit more realistically, so we're doing it like 3 months is when you give birth, although that just seems like something that would happen to a cat or something. But let's pretend that it takes 3 months to have a child, and Jayden is really happy. I mean, she's just happy. She has been preparing for this wedding. She has been making all the arrangements. Her mother has been, paying for most of the stuff with her, ex-husband's money, of course. She's not very happy. It's really early in the morning, but Jayden wanted to see how everything was progressing. And well, people, this is it. The last things that they needed for the wedding have been delivered right here. So the final little touches, the two little deliveries have been made here, and the wedding is actually going to be happening tomorrow. And I might actually squeeze it into this episode. Who knows what might happen, but the wedding is supposed to happen tomorrow, and today in the morning, the last, sort of batch of things came through. So these are the flowers that they have picked out from the store that they visited before. They have this beautiful, beautiful arch for the wedding itself. They have for the exclusive guests that are invited to the after party. They've got, a few dinner tables and a buffet table. They've got some extra chairs for people that, were supposed to sit in the back row. There's a whole, photo arrangement for the couple. And then there's, a dance floor, a DJ booth. A DJ has already been requested, a bartender who's already preparing his, little mixes. He's just checking out what kind of recipes will work best for the party. Doing some tasting and stuff. And then this is one of the, caravan, thingamajigs, but they're just dropped off from the caravan. So these are these little things, these little thin sort of walled houses for events that they just put on a truck, on wheels, and then they just sort of lift it with a fork and then just put it down. This is really lightweight. I mean, these are the most heavy things, and they actually go into the truck. So the house itself, well, let's not call it a house, but I don't know how else to call it, so I'm going to call it a house anyway. So this, house is actually portable. It's really light, and the things inside go into the truck, and these are the same sort of structure. So with plumbing it's a little bit different, but this lot has been vacant for a very long time, so they figured, what, we'll just have a landscaper deal with the problems afterwards. Jayden's parents would definitely pay for this, so we're just gonna click for Taylor to take care of herself, just in case she wasn't already. And Jayden is just going to talk to her mom. She's going to give her a heartfelt compliment, basically complimenting her on how gracefully she has handled the situation so far. She's going to share the big news that the baby is on the way. She is in her second trimester, so it's only one trimester away from being born, and her mom is just, oh my God, that is exciting as hell. And she's going to ask about her day, ask how, she's doing with all of these things happening. And she's gonna throw in a deep conversation and just ask her mom whether she's really doing the right thing, even though they had discussed this before, and her mother was the one who pushed for the wedding, for the dress picking and everything. Jayden just really wants to make sure that her mother still feels like this is the best thing for her. And her mom's like, oh, of course, honey. What else are you going to do in this situation? You're just not going to live on the street. And she's throwing in an inside joke like the Kevin's family did when we lived next door to them. Remember his wife when she wanted to divorce him and then he took everything and she lived on the street and the baby died? Yeah, honey. Of course, she thinks it's a joke, and Jayden to herself is thinking, I hope nothing happens to my baby because I love it more than the world. And she's just like politely laughing at her mom's joke, but she's just like, oh, mom, the funny part is that you think that that's funny. So, this is the wedding venue. I just wanted to show you. If you're wondering who built it, well, I built it, but it's been built by incorporating all of these pre-made rooms that have been made by people on the gallery. So I think if you look for a gypsy caravan or something, you will find this. I sort of copied it and then just pasted it here and turned it around. It was very differently decorated from the inside. It was made like a shed sort of thing, and I made it into like a kitchen and a toilet. Then if you look for wedding and search in room, you should definitely find these two. No probs, just look for the most popular builds. And this, I think, also came in the wedding room sort of search bar, search thingamajig, and these as well. So all of these 4 items came into my life when I just searched for wedding, pressed on room, and searched in the gallery for those specific things. I cannot, however, tell you who they are made by, but I am sure that you will easily find them. They look kind of just like this. I did edit some things, like this room didn't come with this part. I built it so that there would be some continuation. Of course, nothing had no stairs or anything because you can't really make rooms with stairs and they wouldn't like save into the gallery anyway. I changed, so obviously because I made raised, like, I sort of made the platform, the foundation raised. This turned into like a crate, like a box with a platform for people to just take off the stuff for the wedding. So I just sort of modified things that I found on the gallery and I put them into this beautiful wedding right here. And I think it's definitely gorgeous. Although what I'm thinking about right now is that we need to actually make just a couple of things here. So there you go. I just broke down that wall over there just so there would be like clear walking in and out of the kitchen so that the caterers could just bring food to the tables really easily. So basically we are prepared for the wedding. Jayden is giddy. She's waiting for it. She has never been more excited. Her nails are on fleek, baby. That's a nice French manicure, but I just don't like having long nails. We are going to take you back to their lives in just a jiffy, and I will see you there, guys. Hi guys, we are here after that little trip. It is 4 a.m. in the morning and Taylor has been awakened by, Jayden getting ready very early during the night. So after watching some cooking shows, she has finally decided to take her, skill of gourmet cooking, which she has raised sufficiently throughout the month. So, she has reached level 5 in gourmet cooking and she's cooking level 7. She's comedy level 7 because they went to the hijinks and humor and hijinks festival together. Really, a lot of her skills are just a tad, if not a lot bit higher after we last saw each other, because she has worked on them. Now, I know the burning question is, oh my god, Kat, is this a new apartment? Yes. Yes, it is. So the deal is, once let me tell you her name. Maki, the landlord, found out from Taylor, now her good friend. When she found out from Taylor that Jayden was pregnant, she said, "There is no way that I'm letting a baby grow up, amongst rats and, pipes just breaking up and breaking every single day. I'm not gonna let you, suffer in the weird stench that is going on in that apartment. I'm just not gonna allow it." So she put the girls in this apartment. Now, what she did out of the goodness of her heart, she did sort of help them out a little bit financially. Jayden's parents, parents, I can't talk, I'm sorry. So when Jayden's parents found out that, someone was giving her a new apartment and providing for her, they obviously felt like, that's our job, we're your parents. So what they did was they paid Maki back everything that she spent on them. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that they used to have, but then there's a lot of stuff that's sort of upgraded, versions of what they had. So they no longer sleep on futons. It's been unanimously decided the girls need beds, and it's Jayden wouldn't have allowed for Taylor to sleep on a futon while she slept in a gorgeous bed. So she made sure that if she got a new bed, Taylor got a new bed. So Taylor is going to make a tiered cake. It's gonna be a gorgeous one. I know it. And Jayden's just gonna relax, watch the TV a little bit. And Taylor, when it comes to Taylor, whew, guys, a lot has happened in the month that has passed. So she has gotten into quite a fight with Sergio. This is sort of like a almost reintroduction sort of video because it has been a while for the girls. So let me fill you in on the gaps. And let me do it really quickly while she cooks because I can't focus on two things at once. So she got into a fight with Sergio. They dislike each other at this point. And I know what you're wondering. Why? Well, the thing is, Sergio came over one night and he was just requesting that Jayden come out of her room, that she, talk to him because something was going on. She hasn't slept with him since, she has told him that she's pregnant. She hasn't went on dates with him. She has sort of made it her... Oh, she just threw up. Okay. So she has sort of been keeping her distance because... Well, everything that has been going on is really complicated. So she decided that the best thing for her, and by her I mean Jayden, that the best thing for her was if she wasn't going to hang out with Sergio too much, that she was just going to prepare for the wedding emotionally and, physically. That she was just going to take care of herself for the baby's sake, and she wasn't going to go into any more drama. She hasn't really met with Salim. She hasn't found a new romantic partner, but she hasn't been hanging out with Sergio, and Sergio got just a little bit suspicious. So what he did was he barged in at 2 a.m. in the morning when both of them were sleeping. He banged on that door. Jayden was scared for her life because she didn't know who the hell Kit was. When she found out it was Sergio, she was scared that he was intoxicated, meaning heavily drunk. And she sort of, didn't want to confront him, and Taylor wouldn't have let Jayden confront him anyway. So what she did is she confronted him for her. And when she did, he sort of yelled at her. He called her names. He said that, she had no business keeping his girl from him, that she was, a bitch, and that she is sort of manipulating her. She's turning her against him. Basically, he accused her of a lot of things. She just stood there, accepted it all, and then just smashed the door in his face and told him to butt off because it's just not his place to judge what is happening to Taylor. Or Jayden. So Taylor just finished the tiered cake. We're going to put it in the fridge. Obviously, we want it to be fresh, so we are going to put it away. if she can. Yes, she can. I don't know why she's looking up like that. Okay. So she's going to put it away. She's going to grab some food. So that's the situation between her and Sergio. Now, another thing is that she has, if you have noticed, two books in her inventory. You might not have noticed. I did go through it very quickly. We are going to make Jayden practice writing, actually. Yeah. So when it comes to Taylor, she has written two books. Now, one of them is actually excellent, but we haven't published either one of them. She has written I'm Still Waiting for You, which she wrote the day that she decided that her and Jamie were actually going to be an item. And her and Jamie, just so that you would see, are lovers, and she is officially her girlfriend now. So the day that she decided to make it official with Jamie and just sort of solidify their relationship, and for really the sake of Jamie's self confidence and self esteem, she wrote that short story, I'm Still Waiting for You, about Jayden. Of course, it's because of what Jayden did that night that they went to the restaurant. She couldn't she really can't get it out of her head even now, and she's still thinking about what happened between them. And it's obvious that it will stick with Taylor, our, fragile loner girl with a big heart. That experience stuck with her, and she wrote that book with all her with just all of her disappointment and her hopes and everything that she feels for Jayden, and she hasn't published it yet. She might eventually do it, maybe even tomorrow, maybe today. Who knows what she will decide. And then the next book that she has written is Calling Out Your Name. Once again, it's about Jayden for sure. It's after Taylor, just, a week ago, she had this dream where she was looking for her parents, and she found out that none of them are alive, and she will never know, who her parents were and why they left her alone. And she ended up as a washed out writer who nobody wanted to read, and in the dream everybody was turning away from her and didn't want to face her, didn't want to deal with her, didn't really feel any sympathy for her. And then she just sort of, stands in an open field, and she sees Jayden's back, and she's calling out her name, calling for Jayden to turn around and care for her. And then right before she wakes up, Jayden turns around and she says, I love you. And, that dream just sort of stuck with Taylor as well. She realizes how hard she has fallen once again for Jayden. And she hasn't said anything about it, obviously, for obvious reasons. She can't tell Jayden how she feels, because it's just not her place to make Jayden confused a day before her wedding and before she marries a man that can provide for her and her child. And as it goes, for the apartment and everything, Jayden has promised that even when she moves out, if she moves out, she is going to pay for her half of the rent so Taylor can live here. She can move in with Jamie, make do that way. She has been really sort of controlling herself lately. She has been doing a lot of work. She has actually gotten a promotion. Like I said, a lot of stuff has happened in a month. So she is a cultural connoisseur, and that means that the city has so much to offer culturally. Check out some of the sights and sounds and jot down your thoughts. Are the authentic experiences? Let the city know. So basically, she's writing a lot of columns. She's just doing a lot of writing in general for, different newspapers and the San Myshuno Times and everything. So she's just really doing a lot of work, some freelance as well. And she has gotten a promotion during the month because she has been really focused on her career, her wedding, and just getting all her ducks in a row, like I said. So for Taylor, this month has been emotionally exhausting and challenging. For Jayden, it has been a month of just suppressing the problems in life and just sort of trying to find the good things that she can focus on, the good things that she can actually control and make happen. And that's what she has been doing. So they're both very happy to have moved to this apartment. If I ever move them again, I'm definitely doing a whole different makeover for the house. I've been sort of going with the same theme that we've had before, which is, the neon tiles and, the different color bedrooms and everything. But if they ever move again, if that would happen, I'm definitely going to redo it in a different aesthetic. And, I hope you guys will like it when I do it that way. So for now, Jayden is just enjoying her nom noms. She is eating those pancakes. And I am going to skip to a place where I actually want to reveal something for you, show you something that happens. And I don't know how things will turn out, but guys, tune in then. Okay, guys, we are here with Jayden and Sergio. Now, like I said, I wanted to show you something, and I wanted to show you something that is very important. And I don't know what will happen. Well, I do, but, at the same time, I don't. And Jayden is going to, well, she has decided that she will finally tell Sergio all about Salim and all about the fact that the child could be his and it could be Salim's for all she knows, and that she expects that, well, she hopes that he will be understanding and that he will just sort of let her, that he will still love her and still accept her and love the baby no matter whose it is. So she's going to start off easy and she's going to ask about his day. And guys, I want you to know that, it's been forever. It's been since the moment that we found out, since the day that we found out that she's pregnant and the day that they got engaged, that we haven't seen Sergio. Well, Jayden hasn't seen Sergio, and she wants to really have a deep conversation. So before she does, she's going to brighten his day. She's just going to get him into a good mood, She might even joke about the old times if we can. Yes, we're going to joke about the old times. We're just going to, poke some fun at our previous experience and how, we didn't get along and how, we had a lot of problems in the beginning, but we solved everything, didn't we? And now we're having a baby. And he's like, yes, of course. I mean, we went through everything together. And, I'm so glad that you asked me to be here today. And she's going to express her fondness for him. Definitely. She's going to tell him how much he means to her and how important it is that he is here with her in this beautiful place, in this amazing evening. And she will, guys, I am worried. She is going to have the first part of the deep conversation. She's going to tell him how he's very important to her and how she hopes that he will respect what she's about to say. And, he's just like, well, of course I'm going to respect what you're going to say, and of course we've gone through a lot of stuff together. It's what we do, and how could I possibly not respect you? And she's like, well, I'm not going to bring up the night that you came to my house banging on our door accusing my best friend of being WHORE, but you haven't always been very respectful on decisions, so I'm hoping that you are going to be now. And he's like, well, girl, of course I am. He's like, just chill and tell me what's going on. And she's like, well, you know how we're getting married and you basically proposed to me because I'm pregnant, right? And he's like, honey, I didn't just propose to you because you're pregnant. I proposed to you because, well, it's the right thing to do and you're the right girl for me. And she's like, well, listen here. So what if the kid that I had wasn't yours? And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean wasn't mine? And she's like, well, I don't know how to act in that situation. So, you know what? I'm just going to tell you. I am just going to tell you. She is going to reveal a dark secret. I mean, deep secret. Obviously, he just waved it off because he was like, what are you? Is that supposed to be a bad joke? What do you mean it's not mine? So she's going to reveal a deep secret to him. And he's super annoyed by it, obviously. And I don't want to show you his face simply because Sim's animations are overall positive, and I sort of, want to tell you what he's really thinking and not just smiling about everything. So she's telling him the dark secret that he is potentially just one of the fathers, and that there has been, sex with another man. And he's just like, well, I don't know how to act to that. But this is what he did. Abuse in relationships is usually a subject that we don't talk about a lot, and I'm definitely not trying to be political here, but this is our beloved Jayden, and he did this to her. He took her to get to his house. And she thought that they were going to talk about it more at his place, but what he did is he took her right from the car onto the beach. Obviously, it was, late afternoon. There weren't people there, and he beat her up. But he did a lot more than just beat her up. He violated her, and I'm sure that if you know what that means, then you know what that means. And she is no longer pregnant. She lost her baby. It was the second trimester, but the baby was growing slowly. It was a boy, by the way. And since the baby was growing slowly, they didn't even put her under anesthesia. They just sort of, gave her a shot, and they made her lie down and push a little bit, and the baby was gone. And so this is Jayden, beaten up, bruised, but maybe it's not as bad as we think. At least the outside bruises, the ones inside, we can't even begin to imagine. But Jayden, after getting cleaned up, looks just a little bit more decent. Obviously, she's devastated, and she wants to talk to Taylor. She wants to have somebody to talk to because she's very, very sad right now. She lost her baby, and the man that she is going to marry tomorrow, the plans haven't changed right now, but the man that she is going to marry is violent and unforgiving. And he didn't want to hear about what happened between her and Salim and why she did it. He didn't want to forgive her. He didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to solve any problems. What he wanted to do is to get payback. And payback was hurting her in every way possible. And, this is her. And obviously, Taylor, the expression on her face says it all. I mean, she's just in shock of how this could have possibly happened. She doesn't understand how it could have. And so she is going to have a deep conversation with Jayden. Obviously, the outfit that Jayden is wearing, she just grabbed a couple of clothes from Taylor's closet, like just some old clothes to sort of change into, because the clothes that she has just, they were gone. They were ripped off of her. They were basically, she needed to clean up, grab a hot shower, change into some clean clothes, and she's talking to Taylor, and Taylor's expression on that face is her telling her that she lost the baby and that she was not only beaten up, but she was also raped by Sergio. And Taylor's solution is, I think that you shouldn't get married to him. I don't think that it is the right thing for you. And she's like, well, but how am I supposed to, tell my parents? How am I going to tell them what happened? How am I going to tell anybody what happened? And How am I going to justify all those people that are invited, not getting the wedding that they paid to see? And Taylor's like, screw other people. It's what you need, and what you need is protection from that man. And Jayden is just looking at her, and she probably, in the back of her head, she understands that everything that Taylor is saying is true. It's the truth. It's what she should do, but there's not a single bone in her body that can make her move or run away. And so her mind is set on, on getting married to Sergio, and she wants to talk about a problem and ask for advice. And she's like, well, but what could you suggest I can do when we get married or something, and what do you suggest I do afterwards? Do I have another baby with him? And I think that question itself, the question that she is trying to ask Taylor, but how do I live with myself while living with him? And all Taylor can really say is that, it's her decision to make in the end, and it's her life. But what Taylor is advising is to call off the wedding and not have it, and just not be a part of it. And guys, the one thing that I want to say, before we end this video is, I'm not asking you to, like this video and comment down below, but if you do have something to say about this, or just physical abuse in relationships, and if you have, well, obviously nobody wants to share their stories on the internet, but if you do, I'm here to listen. And I wanted to make this sort of little chapters ending as real as it gets, and this is very real and very raw. And I want to ask you to think about what's going on, because it's better that that it happens in fiction than in real life. And obviously I feel horrible for Jayden, but I wanted to keep in mind that this is a very real issue, and things like this happen to women all the time. So I will see you in the next episode. Bye.